Good morning. Let's start off on the right foot this time. All right, January 5th. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Genesis 2:3. The weekly Sabbath is set apart so that we, like God, at the creation of the earth, might rest from our labors for a day. It was instituted to commemorate God's seventh day of rest at the creation, the deliverance of Israel from Egyptian bondage, and Christ's resurrection from the dead. It is a holy day set apart for us to be more fully contemplate. I can't read. It is a holy day set apart for us to more fully contemplate the things of eternity, to gather with other saints to worship, to reach out in love and service to others, and to grow spiritually as we strive to keep ourselves unspotted from the world. It is a day of rest, rejuvenation, and recommitment to the principles of the gospel. Keeping the Sabbath day holy is important enough to God that it is one of the 10 Commandments. It ought to be important enough to us that we honor this holy day with our actions and attitudes. So there's our daily reflections on the Old Testament. So today is Genesis chapter 2. And in this, he finishes the creation. He creates man, puts him in Eden, says that it's not good for him to be alone, creates woman, they're married, and how does it end? And they were both naked, man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So, that's basically it. In my own personal finding things, I found something today. It's kind of hard to find the things that I want to find when it's just saying, and he created. I mean, be like, yes, he created. That's a truth. Important things. And when we're doing the important things, you know that. Anyways, verse 5. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. So in that, he's saying that every plant and herb was created before it was placed on the earth. And what the truth there is that all things existed before earthly creation. There is no beginning, there is no end. Some people think we didn't exist until we were placed on this earth, and none of the plants existed before they were placed on this earth. But a quote from Joseph Smith, which we'll just jump into right now, concerning the process of becoming a living soul. It's talking about verse 7, though, where God breathes Adam's spirit into his body and he becomes a living soul. The 7th verse of 2nd chapter of Genesis ought to read, God breathed into Adam his spirit, or breath of life. We say that God himself is a self-existent being. God made a tabernacle and put a spirit into it, and it became a living soul. How does it read in the Hebrew? It does not say in the Hebrew that God created the spirit of man. It says God made man out of the earth and put into him Adam's spirit. So he became a living body. Now here's the part. The spirit of a man is not a created being. It existed from eternity and will exist to eternity. Anything created cannot be eternal, and earth, water, etc. had their existence in an elementary state from eternity. And that's from Joseph Smith. So, there is no beginning. It already had its existence, just like we already had our existence. We were intelligences before we were formed into a spirit. I'm really enjoying this concept. I don't know why it's blowing my mind, but it is, and I love it. Okay. We talked about the law of the Sabbath already in our daily reflections. And then, it talks about the exact location of the Garden of Eden, because in chapter 2 it says that a river came out of the Garden of Eden and broke off into 4 heads and went its separate ways, and one was called the Euphrates, and one was the Gihon and Pishon and Haba something, and they say it went to these places, but there's no evidence of where the Garden of Eden was. For 3 main reasons, it's debatable. One is the occurrence of the flood in Noah's day. 2 is the reasonable inference that Noah and his ark did not land at the exact spot from which it started. And 3, the fact that the continents did not have their present relationship to each other until after the earth was divided in the days of Peleg, who lived after Noah. Now, of course, we Latter-day Saints have differing opinions from the rest of the world as to where the Garden of Eden is. Joseph Smith taught that the Garden of Eden is in Missouri, I want to say. The New Jerusalem, I don't know. Adamon Diamond, one of those special places. Okay. I think Wilford Woodruff here says, Joseph the prophet told me that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. When Adam was driven out, he went to the place we now call Adamon Diamond, Daviess County, Missouri. There he built an altar and offered sacrifices. There we go. All right. Let's see. First marriage. I don't know if I want to talk about that. Oh, in the podcast they talk about the meaning of Adam's name. The word in Hebrew translated as Adam means man. In his pre-earthly existence, the man Adam was known as Michael, which is said to have meant who is as God. So there's that. And then the basic meaning of cleave has been given by Spencer W. Kimball. This is referring to verse 24, where it says a man should leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife. To cleave is to adhere closely, to cling, and the Lord gave us the purpose of their cleaving, the peopling of the earth, the replenishing of the earth, the subduing of the earth, the dominion over the earth. There was high purpose in the creation and in the proper associations of husband and wife, but intimacy could never be defended outside of marriage. So there's that, and then, there's other stuff in there, but I'm not really sure it's that's all I want to share for today. Those are the points that, I'll stop talking now. So, that was Genesis chapter 2. Now, tomorrow and the next day, we read Moses 2 and 3, which is going to be the same thing. And then the 2 days after that is Abraham 4 and 5, which is the same thing. 3 different takes on the creation. So I guess we will see how they differ and what truths reign true throughout. All right. I love you all. I will talk to you later.